The Sooners of Oklahoma win the toss and defer. So the Aggies of A&M will start first from the 20-yard line with their 25-year-old quarterback, Mark Ferris, bringing his team out. And let's check in on our Chili's starting lineup. Jamar Toombs, big Jamar Toombs, 12 touchdowns this season and only 86 carries. Robert Ferguson, keep an eye on number 6's ankle and knee, both injured last week. Torrance Marshall and Rocky Kalmus, the two linebackers that Gary told you about, at the top. And Roy Williams, the hard-hitting, strong safety for the Sooners in that secondary. Ferris now brings the Aggie offense to the line of scrimmage, and number 10 immediately deploys a slot to the right. Motion in behind him. And on an end around, Goins with the game's first carry for 4 yards to the 24-yard line. This offensive line, Seth McKinney, one-time high school teammate of Purdue quarterback Drew Brees, anchors this line, matched against the defensive line, and the Aggie assistants telling us 94. Ryan Fisher, the left tackle for the Sooners, could be very tough for them to block here today, so we'll keep an eye as that unfolds. Fisher now ready to get down. Goins again, they'll fake it, and Ferris rolls hard to the right on the run, throws complete. And there is number 9, Bethel Johnson, with a 14-yard gain and an Aggie first down. Now, beyond the numbers with Mark Ferris, the second time through the buffet line. You see, he was a highly touted minor league baseball player in the Pirate organization. Now, full-time student, full-time quarterback, married, and with a 4-year-old daughter here in attendance, watching the 25-year-old Ferris operate this Aggie offense with a 1st and 10 on their own 39-yard line.
Let me tell you about a very important.
Contact your provider to learn how to get ESPN 3D.
An Aggie to watch, number 21, Jay Brooks. He's blocked 3 punts. He's down in a defensive tackle spot between the guard and the center. Ferguson back to punt it. Jones to return it for the Aggies. Adam is blocked! Blocked! Out of bounds! And Jay Brooks comes through and blocks his 4th punt of the year.
Everybody knew where he was. You called it, Greg. I circled it right there. He comes around, a little stunt, right up the middle. A little stunt, a little crisscross, confuses the Oklahoma blocking, and he gets it right there in the right arm.
Celebration on the sideline, and now the big man checks into the lineup for the Aggies. Keep an eye on Jamar Toombs. He's right to the quarterback's left. They'll motion. Toombs stays back in the backfield. Play fake. Ferris keeps it. And not fooled that time was Michael Thompson, who came off the corner for OU. Made a nice play. Now let's check in with Jack Arute.
Brent, one of the reasons why Jay Brooks is blocking so many punts this year versus last year, he said all the other times he was worried about getting injured and used to go for the block with his eyes closed. He said, this year I've opened my eyes, therefore I know where I can put my hands. And he gets a piece of the pigskin more often than not.
Second down and 11. Can they take advantage of what Brooks just achieved here, though? An early score will give the Aggies a quick lift here against the number 1 team in the nation. Motion in behind. There's Toombs battling, and OU was ready. Marshall among those, along with Corey Callens, number 92. They come up big. And the one thing we're seeing here, Gary, a very fierce hitting OU defense right
Bobby
now.
Stoops made his mark in college football with defense. His brother Mike and Brent Venables right there, the 2 coordinators, co-defensive coordinators. There's Brent right there. They're running this defense, and it is physical and it is fast.
Now 3rd and 11. OU holding after the block punt. Fade to the corner, contact, penalty flag thrown. There was contact as Robert Ferguson was hit by Thompson near the goal line.
Fade pass to the outside. Thompson's off about 6 to 8 yards. He jams the player, which you can do, but the ball was in the air, so you're going to get pass interference.
Half the distance.
To the outside, you'll see it. Thompson off. Ball's in the air right now, and Thompson has to jam him, or there will be a completion for a touchdown.
Pass interference on the defense. It'll be a spot foul and an automatic first down.
Randy Crystal. So the ball is spotted at the 2-yard line because it was short of that first down, but now it becomes first and goal. Now don't bet against big number 5. He'll set up as a fullback. Jamal Toombs is in the fullback spot. Short of the goal line, and again OU was ready. Ramon Richardson, number 91, the first to hit him.
OU gets so much credit for their great offense, but this front four, they're making people play, keeping their linebackers free, and they refuse to be blocked. They played decent defense here after the basically turnover with the block punt.
OU has defended the outside so very well. You wonder if the Aggies won't come right back with power football. But it's going to be a tough option. Ferris, touchdown! Aggies strike first.
Keeper all in the same point right there. Ferris gets the 6 points, but you might as well give Jay Brooks at least half of them because he set it up. Brent, that's not counted as a turnover, but basically it was a turnover for A&M.
Terrence Kitchens adds the extra point. Is that girl here in Aggie land? A 10-point underdog strikes first because of Jay Brooks, who has now blocked 4 punts this season. Number 21 sets it up, and then the 25-year-old quarterback, the one-time third baseman in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization, takes it in, and the Aggies lead number 1 by 7. Timeout.
Former President George Bush.
Indeed he is. Savage and Thatcher are back deep now for the Sooners, and Thatcher looks for a right alley out to the 30-yard line, and the 12th man comes up and makes the tackle. Eric Stanford, a sophomore from Waco, Texas, and watch Stanford come down the field here. And the young linebacker, a walk-on, part of the great tradition, showing good speed. Eric Stanford. Heupel flares on first down, and the Aggies are all over Josh Norman, the receiver that time.
A lot of people are trying to beat this spread offense by hitting the quarterback. That seems to be the game plan. Hit Heupel, hit Heupel, hit Heupel. At least that's what all the experts, so-called experts, say. It looks like Hankowitz' design today is, let's sit back and see if Heupel can throw the ball downfield and try to hit the receivers instead of the quarterback.
Showing a 4-man front. 4 down linemen. Pressure blitz. Heupel down the middle, deep, got Norman in a foot race, stumbling down inside the 15-yard line. No one faces a blitz any better than Josh Heupel. 55 yards under enormous pressure with the free safety right in his face. Michael Jamison was there.
Coming right down the gut here. Watch the end man. This is the defensive end, but watch, he'll drop. It's actually a zone blitz look. And when you give that quarterback time to throw the ball, Heupel, even though he's got a guy in his face, nobody's more accurate than this guy throwing the ball, Brent. No one in college football.
Heupel with a first down in the red zone for the first time today. And he's going to keep firing end zone high, incomplete. Second down and 10. Now it is second down and 10. 4 wide receivers for Heupel. Going into the closed end of the stadium. Extremely hard to be heard. Heupel lobs. Incomplete. This is probably the toughest end zone in college football for a visiting quarterback. They closed it in here at Kyle Field. You can see how tight it is. Very little chance for Heupel to call an audible. They've got to use silent counts, Gary. They've got to use hand signals. You can see how this field sets up here from our overhead look. This is tough on a QB and wide receivers in a spread.
And Heupel tried to audible on that play. He probably went the wrong direction. He had a better situation to the top of the field rather than the bottom of the field.
Well, Gary, let's see what he can come up with here on third down and 10. He's flushed from the pocket in a foot race. Throws incomplete. And the 12th man makes it tough on Heupel and the Sooners. They will attempt a field goal.
The 12th man and Jason Glenn, the outside linebacker, coming from the backside. These athletes, these outside linebackers are getting pressure on the quarterback with decent coverage to force Heupel into some bad throws.
Now, folks, here's something. Oklahoma's a Nike school, and here's Timmy Duncan. Here's a Nike on the right, folks, but left-footed, and he's got the Adidas on. Now, here's a young. He's going for more endorsements than Tiger Woods, folks. I mean, here it is, a 31-yarder. Got it.
Nice answer by Oklahoma.
The long pass from Heupel to Norman set it up, but the Sooners settle for a field goal. For the clock to run out at the end of the first quarter, we'll have the West Texas Breeze.
Smart play by R.C. Slocum. That's what a head coach does. Think ahead and help your team.
Thatcher will field this one at the 35-yard line. He's really dangerous. And he is brought down by the punter, Cody Skates. An 18-yard return, but did you see how the punter, that young man right there, took on one of the best return men in the country? He met him right in the hole, ladies and gentlemen.
J.T. Thatcher has lost his starting job in the secondary, but he is helping this football team with punt returns. Remember how he changed that Kansas State game, that kickoff return in that game.
Now Oklahoma works toward a more open end of the field here. A little more comfortable as far as the noise is concerned. They're at the A&M 37-yard line, and they're bringing a tight end in with 3 wide receivers off to the left. Heupel is going to throw it back to his tight end this time, and Trent Smith, who dropped that one, hangs on this time and crosses the 35-yard line.
One of the oddities of this Oklahoma spread offense, it's not that they don't go, we saw the no huddle. We've seen Florida State, and Chris Winkie does the shotgun. But one of the oddities of the Oklahoma offense is the tight end, Trent Smith, will always line up to the right side of the formation, or whoever the tight end is. This time it's Matt Anderson. Always to the right.
Quentin Griffin back in for OU. Second down. Inside shovel passes a beauty. And Griffin breaks for the end zone. No, down at the 6-yard line. What a great play by Heupel. He let the rush man get right on top of him before he flipped it to his running back. Watch this beauty.
This is an old run and shoot play. It's always going to go to Griffin. No one else is going to get it. But wait, he avoided nose tackle that time, Ty Warren, to find a better angle that time. And remember, he had to do it left-handed. It was really a brilliant play. And you could see Heupel's coolness in the pocket. You could bring in more B-1 bombers and more people. You're not going to rattle Josh Heupel.
Now, first and goal. Here's Griffin. Nothing doing this time. Stephen Young was there to hit him. Brian Gamble also coming in on the play.
Griffin is only averaging 57 yards rushing the ball, but those little dump passes, like that little shovel pass we saw, is basically a running play. And when you put in his passing yardage, he's a really, really valuable weapon in this offense.
Now Hankwitz sends in an extra down lineman here in the shadow of the goal. Heupel can do the quarterback draw if he wants. In trouble. Scampering left and still looking for help. Now fires. End zone. Got it for the touchdown. Curtis Fagan, a 7-yard catch. And OU leads it for the first time.
I'll tell you, this is a Heisman play. Watch this. Flemings, the defensive end first. Heupel has to avoid the rush. Clear shot at the quarterback. Quick beat, boom, right to the outside. Now he keeps his head downfield, and he finds a guy to throw to. He's going to throw across his body right to the open guy for the touchdown. What a play.
And Tim Duncan adds the extra point. He'd already kicked a field goal here earlier, so OU leads Texas A&M 10-7. Now, Curtis Fagan with 4 catches here today. Keeps on working in the end zone till he gets free, gets bumped, makes the catch. OU leads it. Timeout. Tether cam, a remote control camera attached to a blimp on a tether some 500 feet above the ground here in College Station, Texas, Aggie Land. Now it's Josh Heupel and the powerful OU Sooners back on the attack. Griffin, the receiver, to the 40-yard line. Middle, intercepted, picked off by Jason Glenn. And Jason Glenn is inside the 35-yard line.
Josh Heupel finally got burned. He's backing up. Here's Jason Glenn. Instead of rushing this time, he drops. He's the best pass rusher, but Hankwitz changes it up. And Josh Heupel never sees the drop defensive end. He thinks it's going to be an easy completion to Josh Norman. And Glenn backs up just like Big Brother and gets a pickoff.
The Big Brother, Grayson, were both high school defensive backs. And then Jason Glenn got too big, and so they moved him to linebacker. He has a wonderful pair of hands for a linebacker, and that's not the only pass he has intercepted. First down and 10, and now can Ferris and the Aggies do anything? Completed pass that time to Ferguson.
Oklahoma is starting to make a few errors right here. Penalties 3, had a turnover, and they've had a drop ball. Fortunately, they've survived also a 4th and short at the 50-yard line with good defense. That was, I think, Mark Ferris's best play right there, Brent. He went to his left, and just kind of like the baseball player, as you see, the total offense has not been much. The offense has to help the wrecking crew defense.
Ferris, snap it off, dropped. Would have had a first down, and the ball was dropped by Ferguson, who has now dropped 2 passes here today, and he's supposed to be a big timer. He's a JC transfer. He's made some great catches for them this season. Came in with an injured ankle,
Right.
but it's his hands that are betraying Texas A&M.
It's always something, right? You know, Brent, he did not practice all week. And you start to get away from your normal routine, and all of a sudden you start worried about your ankle, worried about the plays, and you forget to do the basics. I think as he limps out there, he's really not 100% either.
3rd and 3. The Aggies must reach the 24-yard line. Ferris to throw for it. He's got it underneath this time. First down. Robert Ferguson hangs on.
And he hung on, but as he turned that time, I think he might have tweaked that ankle a bit because he pounded the ground. Coming in motion, goes back out, a little bit gingerly, catches the ball, but watch his feet give out. And that kind of tweaked it just a bit as he slammed the turf.
And they're going to take him out. He'll come to the sideline right now as Chris Taylor replaces him, but not running badly there as he comes over to the sideline. First down and 10. Inside the 25-yard line for Ferris and the Aggies. There's that roll again, and this time he throws complete to Richard Whitaker, the running back.
Pretty good changeup by Steve Craigthorpe, the offensive coordinator. Mark Ferris has had trouble throwing the ball from the pocket, so he's had to half-roll them a little bit, get him more comfortable.
Second down and 4. Fake to Toombs, option look, and OU not being fooled at all as Kalmus, number 20, came over on Whitaker that time to make the tackle for the loss. You know, that's several times they have gone to the outside, Gary, and OU's really jumped.
Too quick. Those two linebackers, I mean, you got to get an offensive lineman on them, and that's what that front four for Oklahoma is doing such a great job. They're getting in there. They're occupying the 5 offensive linemen for A&M and letting Kalmus and Marshall just run sideline to sideline.
Ferguson is back in. This will be a 3rd and 7. The Aggies must reach the 13-yard line for a first down. They don't want to take a big loss. They are definitely in field goal range here if they should fail to make the first. Ferris fires for it, incomplete. They want a flag, and they're not going to get it.
Great combo coverage to the outside. They played 4 on 3. Dime package for Oklahoma. 4 guys. Here's the jam here. There's going to be a jam inside, and then these 2 guys run combo to the outside. Nice package. Jam inside. Play 4 on 3 to the outside, and that's good coverage. Just put your arm on them and don't knock them down.
For the tie, Terrence Kitchens, who is quite a story this year after having 7 kicks blocked a year ago, most of them low. He's 13 of 60. This for the tie. 37 yards. Got it. Number 1, Oklahoma 10, Texas A&M 10. Timeout.
Value for only $10. Call or click now.
Folks, this is what it would be like trying to tackle number 5. Look at him coming right at you with those powerful thighs of his, driving now to give the Aggies a 1st and goal just shy of the OU 5-yard line.
And that was Brandon Everidge, the safety that had to make the tackle. He goes about 185 pounds, having to take on the 255-pound tailback fullback.
Toombs again. He wants it. He wants it to the 3-yard line. The big fella wants the ball in his hands. You can just tell by his body language. Jaggeroo.
Well, Gary Danielson, you were talking about the weight loss that Jamar Toombs underwent. R.C. Slocum used the following story to drive home the point. He told Jamar, he said, hey, look, a thoroughbred horse carries 5 pounds of weight to handicap him. Imagine with 2,000-pound horse, imagine the difference, Jamar, if you drop 15 pounds.
That's some of my handicap horses there just went down. I mean, they jumped all over. Don't remind me of putting the weight in the saddlebags, Jack. You bother me with that story, my friend. As Everidge comes in with Kalmus to make the stop for OU.
23 seconds left, 21 seconds left in the half.
3rd down and goal. The ball is at the 4-yard line. 23 seconds left here, Mr. Danielson. And certainly the Aggies would like a touchdown before the intermission and not just another field goal.
Yeah, they had the block punt, which they scored on. Since then, they've stopped them on 4th down. They intercepted a pass, and now they've got a fumble recovery, and they have not been able so far to get it in the end zone. It would be a huge touchdown to go in at halftime right here with time winding down. You know, Ferris doesn't really give you that option attack against these quick linebackers. I think the best call here is a rollout with a throw, a run-pass option for Ferris.
3rd down and goal. Quick snap, end zone. Got it! Touchdown! Texas A&M on a beautiful throw to Robert Ferguson.
Well, he's dropped the easy ones and caught the hard one.
Did you notice the lack of celebration? Let the students celebrate, and Ferguson came back and just handed the football off. An intelligent young man. And a big timer on that reception.
On the offense, touchdown's good. It'll be a 15-yard penalty.
RC's pointing over there. He says, that's a student body.
I think they called it right after he caught the pass, but that was a ridiculous call. Everybody was just coming over to congratulate him. Now they got to back up 15 yards to get this extra point kick.
I think he's pointing over there saying, keep the core and the band off the field.
I don't know if you call it on the band, can you?
Well, I suppose you can. Students come on the field and illegal little bit of it's the trumpet player, folks. Blame him. No question.
That was a big time throw and catch that time. Robert Ferguson.
Ooh, that was.
Robert Ferguson struggled earlier. Remember, we talked about him not practicing. Been fighting a knee and ankle sprain, but came and went. A great call. Go to your go-to guy and challenge him right
you
there.
Bet. Well, Terrence Kitchens now to attempt this 35-yard extra point.
Yep.
And did it just get longer or shorter? Did Callens bust it?
Everybody's pointing at everyone here. and we're about 860 yards away, so it's not like we could see it.
But you can't beat the price of our ticket,
That's
Mr.
right.
Danielson.
Well, it's going to be against Oklahoma.
Offside on the defense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and remain 5.
Now Stoops is saying the center's moving the ball around. That's what he was telling the head linesman. He said he cannot move the ball. So now just watch and see if he moves the ball like that.
He obviously.
No question. Once that ball moves,
he obviously moved the ball.
Get a jump on it, but it gives Kitchens a 30-yard extra point. And he's got it. Still 19 seconds, and remember Thatcher and the rest of the Sooners know how to return kickoffs.
Fade pass for the touchdown to the wide receiver, your go-to guy. Ferris just going to come back, take a quick step, throw the ball to the end zone, and go to your big guy to the outside, and he catches it, gets his foot down. Big-time play, big-time throw. And I wonder if him tossing the ball right there is what enough. There's the play to the outside.
I think the band comes on the field.
Throws it. Look at Ferguson fight for that ball. Beautiful job. Gets his left foot down as he comes back out. Somehow they get a celebration. I thought he did a good job of not celebrating also. I agreed with you 100%, so I don't know who is it on.
Well, let's see what the quarterback did to celebrate. Yeah, that's it. Pumps the fist.
That's good enough.
No penalty there.
That's good enough.
Well, regardless.
17-10 and nothing happened. Right.
And the 12th man, Eric Stanford, who's made one tackle already here today, representing the student body. They'll kick it on the ground to bring seconds off. And a short recovered at the 16-yard line. So they keep it out of Thatcher's hands here, Gary, with 17 seconds left.
Well, we talked about A&M defense needing 3 turnovers to win this game. They were stopped on downs, 4th and short. Then they had an interception and a fumble. Remember, a blocked punt is just like a turnover also.
Welcome to the land of the wrecking crew.
You bet.
I mean, Gary Barnett had to resort to threatening to take the Buffalo off a helmet to come in here and win. That was the last team to win in here, Colorado. And Heupel and OU say, let's just get out of here and go in and talk about it. So that'll do it. We've come to the end of the first half. Stoops was very concerned about this game. He confided to his friends and his staff, this will not be easy. And it has not been. 17-10. Now we go to Jackaroo. Jack?
Coach, a couple of costly turnovers.
That's it. We're turnovers on offense and a block punt. And defensively, we played well outside of 2 third and longs. We've given up 2 touchdowns on 3rd and long just by not playing the football. So
do you think you got to settle them down a little bit at halftime?
Yeah, probably. You know, as bad as we've played, we're only down 7. So there's no question. Offensively, we just need to calm down and get it going a little bit.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Us. They're not doing anything different than what we thought. Let's forget about the score, forget about number 1, and just do fundamental football and see if we can win this football game.
Well, there is a big development regarding Texas A&M. Let's go quickly to Jackaroo. Jack?
Yeah, Brent, their standout sophomore cornerback, Sammy Davis, is out. He has strained ligaments in his left ankle. I talked to R.C. Slocum, and he says it's created a problem. He says he's going to move Jonte Buell, who's a true freshman, over to that position. He's really going to hurt us.
And you hate to lose a candy man right now. He's the best defensive back, and you better believe the Sooners will go to attack as the 12th man, Eric Stanford from Waco, ready to lead the kickoff team down. And OU elects to come out. Down at the 12-yard line, and our Morgan Stanley, Dean Witterstads, and Gary, they tell the story, a defensive battle.
A defensive battle. Neither team is running the ball very well. 6 yards for Oklahoma, A&M with 21. But it has been the turnovers and points off the turnovers that have kept A&M in the game. And now their defense and their fans feel a chance to upset the number 1 team in the country.
OU trailing for the first time at the half this season as Josh Heupel, the leader in the unofficial Heisman Trophy exit polls, if you will, hands it off on first down, and Griffin battles to the 21-yard line, a pickup of 8 yards. There you can see that they enter uncharted waters with Coach Stoops on the far side.
And that was a big point that RC made to us when we talked to him, Brent, is every game we've seen, they've never been pushed into the 4th quarter. They've run away and won these games.
63 on Texas, 41 on Kansas State, 31 on Nebraska, and now in a dogfight. 2nd down. Griffin. And he is jumped by Royland Bradley, an outside linebacker.
The linebacking core from A&M has been the difference. Bradley and Glenn are stopping the running game, the 2 outside linebackers, but they're also putting their hand down and becoming defensive ends when they go to a nickel package. They have been the players of the game for this wrecking crew defense.
Under center, coming out from the noisy end. 3rd and 1, and now Heupel elects to change it up with a hand signal. Got it off. Lobs the fade. Incomplete. And a penalty flag is thrown on the play against the defender.
Sean Weston, I think, was the guy, number 31, who was in bump and run coverage He had no idea where the ball was. He never turned around to look. And that's why I think he's going to get called on this pass interference call. If he'd have just jumped and turned, he might have had a chance to get away with it.
Pass interference on the defense. Penalty has been forced from the previous spot. 15 yards, automatic, first down.
The audible to a fade to the outside. It's going to Curtis Fagan. Now watch, Weston never turns around, never looks, and that's interference. If he'd have jumped and turned, he would have got away with it, and that's the technique he should have used. I think that's a good call.
So the 15-yard penalty and the automatic first down. The ball comes to the Sooners, 38-yard line.
Heupel is really having trouble throwing the ball into the wind so far when he throws it up in the air.
Griffin, penalty flag on the play.
The umpire made the call, and the umpire usually calls holding. That's what it is.
So there's a comparison of our two quarterbacks. Ferris was sluggish throughout most of the first quarter. Then he came on for his best play. Each of them been sacked one time here in this game. And now the ball is being brought back inside the OU 30-yard line. So it's first down and 20 with Mark Ferris waiting his turn on the Aggie sideline.
Two linebackers putting their hands down in a four-man rush with two defensive ends.
Inside shovel pass worked in the first half, works here. Back to the original line of scrimmage with Gamble and Brooks. Now remember, Brooks has to step in there because of the loss of Sammy Davis. And the top-ranked and undefeated Oklahoma Sooners, trailing at the half for the first time this year, are behind 17-10.
Brent, the left-handed Josh Heupel on that one threw it right-handed, or pitched it right-handed, whatever one you like, but that was a right-handed pitch on the shovel pass.
Second down and 12 for the Sooners. Heupel, middle, down, interception. And the Aggies have the second interception of the game and the third OU turnover as Terrence Keel, a strong safety from Lufkin, Texas, makes the pick.
Risk, reward, you throw the ball over the middle. This time Josh Heupel tried to anticipate the throw. He's going to go with this guy right here, Norman, to the outside. As he lets go of the ball just early, he tries to get into this hole to that receiver, and the ball goes there just a little bit before the receiver.
Keel and Glenn with interceptions. Jamison with a fumble recovery. They also blocked a punt. First down for the Aggies, and Toombs rumbles. First down, Texas A&M on a powerful run for 12 yards.
Turnovers, a fourth down stop, a blocked punt, and now Toombs. Jarham with Jamar. And right now the pit, the offensive line, those guys are running that fast. Defensive front seven of Oklahoma right past the big man and a first down.
There's all the problems Oklahoma has encountered here today in noisy College Station. First and 10. Short drop, Ferris snaps it off, complete to Chris Taylor, who crosses the 30-yard line. 12 more yards, and the Aggies are rolling.
Mark Ferris absolutely looks comfortable. One of the things he said about being a baseball player he learned was you learn to not accept failure, but deal with failure. Early in this game, he went like 0 for 2, but he just got back up the bat and said, I'll just deal with it, and I'll get my rhythm back, and he has.
Derek Strait, the OU corner, shaken up on the play. So he's receiving some attention on the field. And we check in with Jack Arute. Jack.
Brent, back in September of 1998, Mark Ferris came home from a baseball game, settled into his easy chair, and turned on the Kickoff Classic. He watched A&M play Florida State. And what he remarked was the fact that there was an old quarterback playing for Florida State named Chris Winkie, a refugee from baseball. That just pushed him over the edge, says Mark. He decided to forsake baseball as well, called up R.C. Slocum, and he said, Coach, is there a scholarship still available? There was.
Well, Jack, the substitution, Thatcher back into the defensive backfield, and Toombs plowing ahead for a couple of yards with Kalmus and Callens making the stop. And as Gary Danielson told you earlier in the game, Thatcher had lost his starting job, and he was sent very briefly onto the field as Straight Now has returned. Second down and 8. "11 minutes in the third quarter. Ferris gets time, fires wide open. And down at the 5-yard line, Robert Ferguson, forward progress is stopped, and he was wide open for 23 yards.
Oklahoma is playing a deep zone, 2 safeties, but the corners are not getting a jam. This guy has to jam this receiver, so this safety has time. Watch, to the outside, no jam. The safety doesn't have time to get there, and Ferris puts it in between one zone and the other zone, a perfect strike. Mark Ferris likes that coverage. He's been seeing it all game. He's thrown 2 great.
Toombs is off to Ferris's right. Here's Toombs. Still battling to almost the 2-yard line before he is stopped by the Sooners. Kalmus and Marshall, their 2 All-American linebackers, making the stop.
Texas A&M has been using this unbalanced line, bringing a receiver in motion and then just running a very simple play, a zone play back into the unbalanced line. Oklahoma's been handling it okay, but it's giving A&M some options to throw the ball off the same formation.
R.C. Slocum sends Richard Whitaker into the game, so he'll line up in the tailback spot right behind Toombs. Now, the last time they did this, Toombs still got the call. Ferris, end zone, and he was stopped short of it. Stopped short as Roy Williams comes up to help Kalmus.
That was the same option keep play that Ferris scored earlier in the game on. You fake it to Toombs and then follow Toombs right into the hole. Now the whole crowd is saying, Toombs. That's who they want the ball to go.
This would be a tough decision for the Aggies if they come up a few inches short here. It is 3rd and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
Toombs is at tailback now.
Here he is. Touchdown! Texas A&M. There's a whole lot of revelries out there in that graveyard celebrating right now. They've got their own scoreboard and everything.
You know exactly what the score is.
Josh Heupel will have to rally the Sooners if they are indeed to maintain that lofty #1 status. They'll need to pull it out now with Terrence Kitchens for the extra point. Good. So the 3rd Oklahoma turnover of this game. Keel with the pick, and the Aggies drive down for the touchdown. Jamar Toombs to the end zone. 24-10 timeout. Defensive back number 26 is now being asked to cover Andre Wolfoff off to Heupel's left. Sammy Davis out with an injury, and Heupel looking, couldn't find him, and now throws underneath. First down, OU coming to a secondary receiver, Matt Anderson, the tight end. And that was some pickup by Heupel.
I really love quarterbacks that handle adversity. Coming across this time, you got a guy that's thrown an interception over the middle. He's made mistakes, but what does he do? Runs out again and says, hey, if we're going to move the ball, I got to throw it. I'm the only one that can do it. I'm going to have to live with some mistakes if we're going to get back in this game.
Heupel now has driven to the Aggies' 30-yard line. Griffin checks the play. Gets the call, cuts back, and the Aggies' wrecking crew is ready with Ronald Flemings, number 99, from San Antonio. And a reminder that at the conclusion of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Second down and 10. In case they need Mr. Duncan. OU, of course, would like a touchdown. Trailing here by 14. Time running down the third quarter. They'd like to get 7 instead of 3.
Blitz look here, and Josh is changing the play.
Here they come. Heupel the lob at middle. Caught inside the 10-yard line by Antoine Savage. Gary, I'll repeat it. No quarterback I've seen this year is better in the face of a blitz than Josh Heupel. That for 22 yards.
Well, Brent, this was very simple to read. Look, there's no one back here. Nobody back into the top. Heupel changes it, gets the post. Same play that he called against Nebraska. You throw it up. Now watch the receiver. Shield, shield, shield. Catch the ball. Perfect job. Just put it up safely where your guy can get it.
First down and goal from the Aggies' 8-yard line.
This guy is very difficult to blitz.
Heupel waits for someone to break free. Incomplete. Intended for Andre Woolfolk, number 17, and they were going to work on Yante Buell, number 26, the freshman defensive back who has been forced in because of the injury to Sammy Davis.
I really think there was holding in the secondary that time by the defensive backs from A&M. Not the player he was throwing to, but somebody else just outside of the picture. Both coaches checking the clock, checking the score, checking all of the different plays available to them.
Holding on the defense. The hold occurred on an eligible receiver. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That was a first down because the ball was in the air. The quarterback threw it. And had he been sacked back there, it would not have been an automatic first down. First down and goal just inside the 5-yard line. Quentin Griffin is lined up right behind Heupel. They fake it to him. Heupel's going to throw it. Incomplete.
This guy doesn't look like he hears one thing out here, does he? I mean, calm, thinking, always thinking forward, never thinking about your mistakes, but thinking about the next play.
Second down, the son of a coach from Aberdeen, South Dakota. And there, with his arms folded, is Mr. Heupel. So Ken's team is playing today, and he's not stalking the sideline up there in the Dakotas. Second down and goal. Now Heupel forced to throw it. The crowd wants grounding. Hit on the release. And it'll be third down.
Again, I'm really impressed with A&M. They're not giving Josh any easy throws. They're sitting in catch zones, and they're covering everyone and forcing Heupel to make a perfect throw for a touchdown.
Number 23, Jason Glenn, is a big-time college linebacker. Aaron Glenn's younger brother. Well, he's big timer. He's had one interception already today. The crowd making it tough on Heupel, as tough as they can. Third down and goal.
He's got him up here if he wants to bump him on.
They run in that direction with the wide receiver. A penalty flag is thrown.
And we're going to get holding on that pulling guard, whoever it was. I think it was Howard Duncan, number 68, who was trying to spring that sweep play. Was it Frank Romero or Howard Duncan? One of the two, the tackle or the guard to that side.
You'll be able to check it out on the run by
It is
Josh Norman.
Romero, number 63, that just grabs his guy and won't let his linebacker, Bradley, turn around and make the play.
And Bradley has played very well here today, and that's certainly one way to stop him from making another play, is to run it in that direction. A tough penalty for Oklahoma. Brings the ball back to the 17-yard line. It'll be third down and goal. So if they miss here from this spot, they'll go for the field goal.
A&M sets in the zone.
The crowd rocking. Here's Heupel. Gonna throw short and see what they got with Savage. Nothing doing. Down at the 10-yard line, Antoine Savage. And he is tackled by Evan Peroni.
I really think without the penalty, Oklahoma would have used 4-down territory and tried to get the touchdown. But now, I think the better job is to put 3 points up there. You still got a long fourth quarter. And Brent, we saw last week and the week before, those fourth quarters can go on forever. Take the points.
27-yarder, Patrick Fletcher's the holder. He's got it. Well, Commissioner, want to thank you a lot for dropping by. Good luck the rest of the way with the Big 12. It's really been exciting.
Thanks, Brad. You guys do a great job for
college football. And ahead of us, 24-13. The Aggies lead it. Timeout.
Hiawatha Williams.
Bright Lens Restore Kit's an amazing $40 value for only $10. Call or click now.
24-13, Oklahoma to kick it off after the field goal by Duncan. Goins and Harris back deep for the Aggies. Here's Harris. Drops the ball. Loose. Falls on it, but just about the 10-yard line. This is the worst starting field position of the afternoon for the Aggies. Mark Ferris faces some anxious minutes now. The Aggies need first downs. Keep the ball away from Heupel. They pound with the big fella for a couple of yards. See how dangerous it is where they have to go. That yellow line on your screen, that's the 1st and 10 line. That's brought to you by Pacific Light. Oklahoma trying to seal them up down here, force them to punt right away, get it back, get some field position, and drive toward that more open end of the field. Here's 2nd down and 8. Incomplete, as the receiver and the quarterback were not on the same page that time, and young Cameron Ferris is watching Daddy from the sideline. Come on, Daddy, make a play if you can here. This is the 3rd down, and we asked Mark, what's it like when you go home to your daughter? Here's what he said.
Well, she doesn't care about football. You know, I'm just her dad, and that, you know, that's what's great about it to me. I can have a bad game or a bad practice or a bad week, and you know, it doesn't matter to her. I'm still going to be her dad, and that's what makes it special for me. Is that, you know, it takes a little pressure off, I think.
Yes, Mark, but Cameron says, get the first down, Daddy. Going long, got an open man, and he overthrew Bethel Johnson. The defender had slipped, folks. That might have been a TD. There was angle help coming from the safety on that.
Very difficult. One of the unknown things about throwing downwind, It's hard to judge that wind. It's like playing golf. You see a straight ball down, and this ball just blows away from the receiver that time, and he misses a big chance to gain big yards on that play fair.
Missed his last 4 now, and here comes Cody Skates trying to drive it out, and Thatcher looking for field position. It'll be a short field for Heupel. He'll work from the Aggies' 42-yard line, a 38-yard punt with an 8-yard return. So that's only a net of 30 yards here, and there's still a lot of drama left to unfold. We're in College Station, Texas. More than 80,000 on hand. Number 1, unbeaten, and needing to stay unbeaten to hold that number 1 position in all the polls. Trailing right now, 24-13. 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Josh Heupel and the Sooners ready to go back to work. Heupel keeps it on the run. Down at the 33-yard line. Very close to a first down. Terrence Keel making the stop.
Heupel was expecting a defensive end to come upfield so he could pitch it, a shovel pitch to Josh Norman. Nobody was there, so Heupel just had to run it. And the 4th quarter is going to start with Oklahoma in a position to put more points on the board.
Your home projects take 4.
The same thing again in the 4th quarter.
Heupel and OU. 2nd down and 2 for the top rank, the blitz. End around, and they caught the blitz off that open corner. 1st down. Curtis Fagan from Houston, Texas, coming around, and the blitzing linebacker Jay Brooks was caught up in the traffic. 13 yards.
Let's give a little salute to this offensive line this time. They pick up the blitz, they're going to hand it, and they just wall it inside. Heupel gets 1 push, and then he gets out in front and gets in front of somebody else and gets a kind of a knee block again.
Folks, that was 2 blocks from Heupel. First he got the blitzer, pushed him out of the way. Then he went back outside. 1st down and 10 now.
A push and a block.
And here comes Griffin, squirts into the secondary, end zone, touchdown, Oklahoma!
Distribute the ball. Receivers, tight ends, and this time hand it to the running back right there. Everybody's thinking wide, flow goes one way. The little guy comes out the other way, and Griffin takes it right into the end zone again.
The nice thing about the temper.
The unbeaten Sooners. And now, Mr. Danielson, you're not so sure that they should go for 2, and I think it's a lot.
It's a lot, I know, but here's my thinking on this. If you don't make it and A&M kicks a field goal, then you're down by 8. I prefer to make it a 4-point game, and then you still got a long time to go.
I prefer to make it a 3 against this defense in case I need the field goal. The wind is at my back. Anyway, here it comes. Here's Heupel. Got time, looking open, man, got him.
I prefer to go for 2.
It was Matt Anderson, the tight end.
I'm just a 1-point guy, you know. 1 at a time, 1 at a time.
24-21.
Roll out to the outside. Going to end up getting the tight end right here as he comes across the field. Heupel just buys time, and says, help me, find somebody get in the open, and there he is. I don't even know if he was throwing to him, to tell you the truth. I think he was throwing to the back of the end zone that time to Curtis Fagan.
And Ken Heupel said we taught Josh well. That's Checking now with Jackaroo.
Well, Brett, now the burden will be put upon the defense of the Sooners. They need to get the ball back. No big surprise, though, that Bob Stoops is a big-time guy on defense. Why? Well, he goes all the way back. He traces his roots back to Iowa. Whereas an Iowa Hawkeye, watch, number 41, interception. That's Bob Stoops. They say he was the hardest hitter among the Iowa defensive backs. Finished his career with 205 total tackles, 10 interceptions. A much younger Bobby Stoops then.
And his brother, of course, the co-defensive coordinator, along with Venables, was a defensive coordinator for Spurrier down in Florida when they won the national championship. And with the wind at his back, Duncan kicks it deep in the end zone, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Now, the storyline of this game is quite clear. Mark Ferris and the Aggie offense have to do something here. They've got to get some first downs. You can see by quarter how this game has gone.
Yeah, well, Oklahoma is the only team that had the ball in the fourth quarter, but A&M has only run the ball in this game for 41 yards. There's Mike Mangino, offensive coordinator, setting up the next series, and the running game has been more important for Oklahoma in the second half. They've run for 65 yards.
Short drop, going to throw, incomplete, and they are yelling at the officials on that far side. They are absolutely livid. Stoops is on the field. He said there was 12 men on the field. They must have brought a 12th man out late. He is livid.
Brent, what it was they broke the huddle with 12 men, and that's what he thought. It's an automatic call. When 12 men break the huddle, even if you only end up with 11, it's an automatic penalty, and Bobby's right.
The linesman is now rushing over to confer from the other side, and of course that is a rule. And now he will go over to confer with there's the Stoops brothers are right there. Now you see the headman.
An A&M player left the field late, and the only thing I can think of is the official saying he never got to the huddle. Mike, don't let Mike get in there. That's Mike, brother Mike right there. Defensive coordinator. He's maybe has more fire than his brother. Two Hawkeyes from Boardman, Ohio, right? Ohio boys. We're just going to talk about Bob Stoops. Stoops' team being a reflection of his poised confidence.
He's acting like one of his buddies, Boom Boom Mancini right now.
He's looking like the guy he just got done working for, Steve Spurrier.
You lip readers know exactly what he's saying. I don't have to interpret. And on the other side, folks, calmness, stability. And when are we going to get a first down is what he's wondering.
We talked about the jam to the outside. This time the corner gets the jam, and that open area where the ball is thrown can't be completed.
You want to get on the mic?
I'm somewhat surprised that the argument lasted that long, to tell you the truth. The way OU was playing, and they got him at 2nd and 10, man, I want him to line up and try to come at me again. Here's the Whitaker breaks free, still going to the 35. A first down before Marshall could bring Richard Whitaker down on a fine run, his best of the day.
Ran right through Roger Steffen, number 9, right here is going to miss the tackle. Breakdown in this defense, a lot of motion. Kalmus gets blocked, but there's the linebacker right in the hole. You depend on that guy to make the play. That's an excellent run that time by Richard Whitaker, the freshman, for the first down.
Ball at the Aggies' 34-yard line. On first down, Ferris is going to throw it. Man, beautiful catch on the near sideline as Mark Ferris hits Ferguson, and he showed you his skill for 29 yards. Folks, remember that play. That could be one of the biggest plays of the season in college football. This is some grab.
Huge, great coverage on the play by Ante Jones right here. Now watch this throw right there, and up and get it right over the inside shoulder, catch and throw, just exactly how you teach it, coach it, and execute it.
Ferguson trots off.
Two big plays, one on the running game and one by Ferris and Ferguson to move the chains again.
Goins is in the slot, comes in motion. Coming back around on the end around, it's going to be Goins looking daylight. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And the coach, I believe, went flying that time. Yes, he did on the near sideline. R.C. Slocum went down.
Got a little smile, saying I could have avoided it. That play looked open. When it first got the ball, it looked like he might have 10, 12, 15 yards, but that Oklahoma defense runs so well. Just like the wrecking crew, great athletes on defense.
Second down and 6. Ball at 32, and Ferris backs him up into the shotgun. He's going to throw it. Far side, Goins drops it. Goins defended by Jones, and it's incomplete. And now it will be third down. Oh, we heard from Kevin Weiberg, the commissioner of the Big 12. A very busy day. Missouri at the half winning. Texas Tech up. Texas coming back in the second half of the season. Colorado scoreless against Iowa State. And later, the other big one, Nebraska at Kansas State.
Chris Sims is playing in that Kansas game also today. Texas against Kansas after White injury.
Here is a big third down for both teams.
5 wideouts.
Quarterback draw. Dives. I believe he may have just gotten the first down. Ferris put it down. The linesman will spot it, and then they will measure for it.
You could tell from the yellow line that his knees came down just in front of it. But it looks from the yellow line that he might be a football short, but it's going to be one of those calls. Let's see if the yellow line matches up with the actual line. It looked like he was about 1.5 feet short.
There you can see how much they need. And that 1st and 10 line is brought to you by Pacific Life. And isn't that a good aid for fans at home? Don't we all like that?
Great perspective about the field. About a football short.
Now, fourth down, you got to go here, right, Gary?
I think you do. You're kicking into the wind.
And you've got Toombs.
And remember, the quarterback sneak by Oklahoma didn't work. I think I give it to the big guy, Toombs.
Toombs on the field, number 5. He drops back out with Ferris. You can see him on the left side of your screen.
In this situation, they put Toombs in the tailback position to hand him the ball. Now the challenge is to that offensive line. Don't give any penetration to allow the outside guys to come around the back end to make the tackle.
Don't jump to the snap count either. So a couple of tight ends you can see down there. Seth McKinney, number 77, is a very good offensive center. Oklahoma in a tight goal line. Here's Toombs for the first down. Breaks free. Still on his feet. Toombs still battling. Toombs. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Touchdown. You talk about a tombstone. 27 yards. And he may have buried OU.
A&M is looking for a football. They get a football field and 6 points. Toombs, who plays big in big games, 86 against Kansas State, carries across the whole Oklahoma defense for a tremendous run. Brent saw him do it against Nebraska in 98, 110 yards. Last year against Texas, he put up 126 yards. He comes to play in big games. Today, he has been huge.
And there's going to be a celebration penalty here again.
One of the most exciting plays I've seen in a long time for a running back.
That was remarkable. Carrying defenders into the end zone.
And he almost lost his balance. Remember, this is a big guy, 255, 60 pounds, and he keeps his balance.
So this will be a 35-yard extra point attempt. And he's got it. Terrence Kitchens adds another one. The Aggies love it. And you gotta love a young man, Toombs. He's had a little problem with marijuana in his background, with alcohol in his background, but he straightened out his life. And ladies and gentlemen, this run is worth a couple of million when you go to play on Sunday afternoon. The balance, the power, the determination, the package you love. And Jamar's mother enjoying every moment of it. Aggies lead it by 10, but a lot of time left for Josh Heupel. Timeout.
He comes back, we'll give him a special award. Boy, he had played a great football game though.
2nd down and 7. Plenty of time. Dropped. Savage can't hold on. And it'll move to 3rd down.
Tried to run a fake screen and kind of sucker the A&M defense into thinking screen and pushed Josh Norman into the end zone. But A&M played solid defense, and Heupel had nowhere to go with the ball but to dump it off.
Remember now, trailing by 10, if they don't get closer this time, OU can still settle for the field goal and play for the touchdown the next time if they stop the Aggies. Here's the 14th play of this drive. Must reach the 4-yard line for a 1st down. Heupel. Time, sprints left. He's going to keep it on the run. Dives for the 1st down. He's got the 1st down for Oklahoma. It's 1st and goal.
Well, Josh Heupel came out of high school as a great athlete, basketball player, quarterback. He blew his knee out, had to rehab it, came to Oklahoma running a 5-flat 40. Now he's down to 4.75, and he needed all 4.75 to eke out this 1st down. A huge play by Josh Heupel. Great presence, knows where everything is on the field.
Here's 1st and goal for Heupel. Checks the D. Here's Griffin. Touchdown, Oklahoma! Hang on, everybody. This is going to be another of those finishes in college football. So Duncan makes it a 3-point game as the Sooners go 77 yards in 15 plays, and they took 5 minutes and 53 seconds, and now they're going to need the ball back.
These games always come down to this 4th quarter one way or another, and now it's, as you said, A&M's offense has to answer the bell here. A 3-and-out or a turnover would be brutal right here. Just a fake reverse. Guy coming across, don't hand it to him this time. Just give it to Griffin. Great blocking up front. The offensive line just rooted him out. Griffin goes in practically untouched. Bubba Burcham, number 59, really sealed off inside, the outstanding center for Oklahoma.
Well, Bob Stoops and the Sooners have been through it this year. Big games, and we asked Stoops about OU playing in big games.
We've had a number of big games through this year, and our players really enjoy that atmosphere and are relaxed in it and are really excited about being in the middle of it and competing.
And that gives them a little bit of an advantage. They have been in the environment, perhaps not as noisy. And this is the first time that anyone's taken into the fourth quarter, which is where R.C. Slocum wanted to get them. So coming out is Goins. Goins slips a tackle. Still going. Breaks free. And so a fine return of 32 yards by Dwayne Goins. And for those of you who just checked in to watch the end of this, Oklahoma, ranked number 1 and unbeaten, has just pulled to within 3 as Griffin breaks across for his second touchdown of the day. He has rushed for 69 yards. Oklahoma has 363 total yards and A&M 246. A&M now in need of a rally. Intercepted. Marshall picks it off. The big linebacker. Still go. Touchdown. Touchdown. Oklahoma regains the lead as Torrance Marshall from Miami picks it off and runs it in. 41 yards.
That time Mark Ferris tried to throw the ball over the middle. Torrance Marshall said, The 2 linebackers that we featured earlier, Brent, Kalmus and Marshall, they're playmakers. They're on the field, and they understand the game, and they read the game so well.
Young man has a brother who plays for the Miami Hurricanes. He came to play for OU. And he made perhaps the biggest play of the season for the unbeaten Sooners as Duncan adds the extra point. And Aggieland just a little bit quieter than it has been for the last couple of hours as OU leads it 35-31.
Marshall is in here. It's the same defense that Oklahoma's been playing all day. Safety's deep. The linebacker's going to drop right into the play. Ferris never saw Marshall, who baited inside. Ferris lost sight of him, and then Mark Ferris misses the tackle right at the end of the play right there. He could have saved his team by making the play, and Marshall walks right into the end zone.
Kalmus gets some credit for pushing. You thought he missed the tackle?
I thought he could have made the play. There he is, right there. Drops right into the play. Quarterback kind of jogs over on the play. And the 1 linebacker, Ferris, sees the play, does not see the linebacker when he lets it go. And there's the linebacker making one of those athletic plays that they're so good at. They never leave the field.
Now watch Ferris as he comes over, trying to help out defensively. Getting set, and Kalmus just pushes him out of bounds.
Yep.
Does that count?
It counts, but I think he could have got in there a lot harder. He was kind of giving it the jog. We saw Drew Brees go after a guy the right way.
But Ferris is coming back out to play quarterback.
He will have to. There's no choice. Still 7-13, 35-31.
Let's take a look at the BCS computer rankings, unless they're revoting or someone's protesting down there in Miami. I guess they got, whatever the heck it is. Anyway, Florida State, they're winning. Miami has already put it away against Pittsburgh. And how about Florida losing to South Carolina? Well, it's early. We get word that that's only in the first quarter. So a lot going on here today. First down and 10 now for the Aggies. And Ferris has to shake off that last pass. They come back with Toombs, and the OU defense fired up right now with Ryan Fisher, fine inside lineman, making the play for the Sooners.
Yeah, if you ask all the coaches who's the toughest guy to block, it's Ryan Fisher, potential all Big 12, inside run guy, keeps those linebackers clean all day by taking 1 or 2 blockers. And boy, have the turnovers told a big part of this game. Remember the block punt, also 7 points for A&M early in the game.
And a field goal certainly won't help now in the last 6.5 minutes. Ferris and the Aggies down 4. Incomplete. He threw high to Robert Ferguson, and Ferris may be a little shaky right now after that interception. flag down.
I wonder if they got roughing the passer on this one.
Oh, would that be a huge call? Yes, it is. Oh.
Not exactly sure who it was, but it was just as Ferris let go of the ball. Ferris lets it go. Yeah, that was an extra step and a half that time, and that was the right call. That's a huge play. That's a huge play because it would have been 3rd and long.
So time permitting, we'll have the thrifty post-game report with John and Terry. So here's Mike Stoops over there on the side. He and Brent Venables, the co-defensive coordinators, can't be happy with that play because that gives the Aggies, of course, a fresh set of downs right now at the Texas A&M 32-yard line. Now he's forced from the pocket on the run. Lobs. Caught. Midfield. Greg Porter.
Great play by Porter. The ball was behind. The defensive player had his back to the ball, and Porter just reacts to it and puts another first down up there. You know, I always admire those guys that make a mistake and come back and fix their mistake. We saw it with Drew Brees. Now Mark Ferris has the opportunity to dig himself out of the hole he put his team into.
What they said to Brees that time was, if you break it, go fix it.
That's right.
Now it's up to Ferris to fix what he broke. 6 minutes. They trail it by 4. First down and 10. Set into Ronda. Ferris going to throw off the look.
Yes, sir. Right from the secondary.
Jones coming up to make the play big time. And let's check in with Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, all of a sudden, Mr. Ferris is starting to be pretty resilient after that miscue the last series, and he attributes that to baseball. He says, you know, you have to learn to live in the present when you play baseball because one night you can go 4 for 4, the next night you can go 0 for 4. You can't worry about the past. You got to only think about the future.
And the future is 2nd down and 9, Jack, 35-31. Ferris from the gun. Got his receiver, trying to break free, gain a few more yards, and he is out of bounds there. Stop, they say. Stopped short of the 40-yard line where they must reach for a first down. So Robert Ferguson was battling for extra yardage here.
It's been the Michael Thompson on Ferguson all day. Thompson has won one play, but so far Ferguson, who started out so slow, has kind of gotten healthy just in time.
3rd and 2. This is 2-down territory at this point of the game with the final 5 minutes. Shotgun, and that's Big Toombs right off to the quarterback's left who gets the call. Toombs barreling. Toombs first down inside the 35-yard line. So for those of you who just checked in for the exciting end of this with Jack Arute and Gary Danielson, I'm Brett Musburger, live before the largest football crowd ever in the state of Texas. And Oklahoma has just rallied to gain the lead on this defensive play right here by Torrance Marshall. The linebacker snapped it off. His running mate Kalmus makes the final push block, and Marshall from Miami dashes on into the end zone. His brother, already a winner today with the Hurricanes, and wouldn't he love to meet up with Miami down in the Orange Bowl for the national championship. Mom and Dad have had a difficult time watching both of their sons play this fall, going back and forth. First down and 10 coming up, and we've had an injured Sooner down on the field.
Yeah, it was Brandon Everidge who came up to tackle Jamar Toombs that time. He came up with Toombs, and he's a little crazy right now. He has no idea where he is. Kalmus and Marshall, the two linebackers, as Everidge goes out. Sooner or later, they're going to get you. Kalmus and Marshall, great anticipation of plays, absolutely athletic. They adapt, they can run nickel or regular, and they've been accountable all year. They show up every game.
So the clock is running. Inside of 5 minutes left in regulation. Here's Ferris. Goes deep and high. Caught at the 10-yard line by you-know-who, Robert Ferguson. That's 24 yards.
This guy's a big-time player right here. Ferguson covered. He's covered to the outside by Jones. The ball's up, and as Ferguson limps up, here he is to the outside. One-on-one coverage. You see the safety's never going to get there from there. You just throw it out and say, my guy looking at the ball is better than your guy with his back to me. And he goes up and leaps, comes down on his right ankle, and that's the one that's been bothering.
Jamar Toombs is back there, running back with a first down and goal, and here he comes again. Powering his way to the 7-yard line, and that last touchdown run of Toombs, Gary, would be very...
Yeah, that'd be a nice one of those. I tell you, when he gets the ball, Brent, he doesn't fall backwards ever, does he? I mean, he just takes on people and falls forward. And you mentioned it before, NFL loves those type of guys who can get positive yards. The game's won with the passing game, but you got to have the runner that can set it up.
Joe Weber checks in for this play. He's got the handoff, and Weber to the 4-yard line, where it will be 3rd down for the Aggies right there.
Ferris has the option on that play of keeping the ball or handing it off to the remaining running back. He has to read the defensive end. It was very close that time whether Mark Ferris could have kept it.
3rd down, OU with a late sub. Still no Toombs. Ferris to throw for it, incomplete. Remember, a field goal won't help him. It's 4th down. RC will take a timeout right here.
Frustrated with tangled headphones? You have the music, but no way to share it. Built-in speakers are useless and have no sound. Now you can replace them all. Hi, I'm Tim Goey, and this is the Music Bullet. Music Bullet is a mini portable speaker with gigantic quality sound and kickin' bass. Give your iPod real quality sound. Turn your iPad or tablet into a mini movie theater. Pump up the volume on your smartphone. Even your computer will have mind-blowing clear sound with the Music Bullet. Music Bullets are mini but pack a punch. Want to kick up the bass? Bullets expand for bigger output. Bring any device to life with banging portable sound that can't be found with any of these or these. Watch this. Music Bullet blows them all away with ease. Dare to share your music at the beach, your office.
I can't believe all this sound comes out of this little tiny speaker. It's so amazing. I'm blown away. I like the clarity in it. You can hear everything.
I like the range, the bass.
It's amazing. It's so loud.
Use Music Bullet while getting ready. Take them from room to room and listen to your device come to life with quality sound that will really boom. Music Bullet also turns your phone into a hands-free unit with clear, audible sound, so you're free to talk, listen, and move around. Now you can have big quality sound that is so small you can even carry it around. Call now to get your Music Bullet for only $19.99. That's a lot of sound for a little money. But when you call, we'll even send you a second Music Bullet absolutely free.
It doesn't take a genius to think that Texas A&M is going to be looking for number 6, Robert Ferguson, who's a big-time wide receiver.
You're right. Any chance, if he's not double covered, you got to give him the ball.
Michael Thompson comes with him right down the bottom.
Yep, right underneath that graphic. He's right there.
4th down, incomplete. Chris Taylor, the intended receiver. OU takes over on downs. All they need to do now is kill 3 minutes. Mike Stoops' defense does it.
Ante Jones that time is the guy who got his hand on it. Number 11. Going to try to get the ball in here. Jones is the one who's going to try to get it. Actually, Ferguson was not in the play at all. They try to get it inside. Jones gets his, I don't know if it's his left hand or his right hand, but he does an excellent job of making the play and knocking it down.
So now Josh Heupel and the Sooners. A&M with 2 timeouts left. 2:56. The Aggies are without Glenn. They're without Davis on that defense. And here comes Griffin, who has run for 2 scores today.
One more time, and there's Mike Stoops says, get over here, guys. Don't celebrate. Don't make a mistake. Just get off the field and let our offense come out there. A&M, Brent, has to force this Oklahoma team to throw the ball. If Oklahoma can run for a first down, that has to be disappointed to A&M. Look at those guys. They are fired up. I think Kelmus kind of saved an argument between Jones and Stoop that time.
2nd down and 5.
Wrecking crew defense can't allow a rushing first down.
Got him! A huge tackle in the backfield by Cornelius Anthony.
Beat it inside, beat the block inside that time. Anthony, the inside linebacker, is just going to shoot the gap right into the backfield this time. Remember, Oklahoma not even used to being in a 3-point stance. Howard Duncan that time, the left guard just got beat across his face. That's an absolute no-no. They're used to pass blocking. They're not used to that 3-point stance run blocking.
So 3rd and 9 coming up. What would you do here, Gary?
I'd throw the ball. I really would. I got Josh Heupel. I'd say, come on, Heisman guy. We don't want to give it back to him. Oh, by the way, don't throw an interception. And I used to get those all the time. Make sure you throw this thing, but don't make a mistake.
.240 on the clock. 3rd down and 9 for Heupel and the Sooners. Aggies show blitz. From the end zone, drops it off. It's complete. Savage, no first down. OU is forced to punt.
What a play by Jay Brooks.
What a play. Punt. Comes up with a huge tackle.
What a play. Just sticking out his hand and tripping from behind. This wide receiver screen, and watch number 21 just pop into the play from the bottom of the screen.
Remember, Jay Brooks has blocked 1 punt already today. They move him to the outside right. He's going to try to come off the corner this time. OU picks him up. He tries to come inside, partially blocked. Field position coming up for the Aggies. It was touched at the 43. So Texas A&M with Bethel Johnson partially blocking the punt. The 2nd time that the Aggies have rolled in on a punt. With 1:33 to go, Texas A&M trails number 1 ranked Oklahoma 35-31. The Aggies are out of timeouts. Texas A&M has had a splendid running day from Jamar Toombs. They have an outstanding wide receiver in Robert Ferguson, but it'll be up to that young man. Number 10, Mark Ferris, a one-time minor league baseball player in the Pittsburgh Pirates organization. He is 44 yards away from upsetting number 1. This is the first time that a number 1 ranked team has come to College Station with R.C. Slocum as the head coach. Ferris goes deep. Jump ball, 2nd and 10 on the incompletion. Ferguson defended by Jones.
Zay Jones does a nice job that time turning around and facing the ball. You can back into the guy if you see the ball coming. The officials will let you get away with that. The ball's just thrown up. Jones backs into him and forces a very, very difficult catch, and one that Ferris is fortunate to get away with there. Jones is limping back again.
I think you mean Ferguson.
Excuse me. Ferguson's limping back. Every time he jumps down on it, he tweaks it again.
So that is a big Aggie weapon to the sidelines here when they are 44 yards away. Second down and 10, 126. 3 wideouts off to the left for Ferris. Comes back to the right side, right through the hands.
Through the hands of Derek Straits. That's that seam pass that has been very good for Mark Ferris today. He's had a good job of hitting it right in between the corner and the safety all day, and that one he just didn't get it high enough.
Third down and 10 for the Aggies. Sacked. Fourth down as Roy Williams, the strong safety, sacks Ferris.
Oklahoma defense has been put in trouble all day with turnovers, a block punt, a missed fourth down play, and then another tip punt. But they have responded, and that was a gamble call from Mike Stoops. Roy Williams, the safety, is going to come from the left side. Ferris is going to look right, never sees him, and there's a huge play.
And a flag comes flying.
Probably 12 men in the huddle.
12 people. Prior to the snap,
Now,
substitution infraction, breaking the huddle with more than 12.
Remember when Stoops lobbied hard over there on the sideline against that earlier. And this time he gets the call, and it comes at a huge time. It means that the Aggies will need 20 yards on this play. Stop them here. And unless there's a miracle, Oklahoma will stay undefeated and ranked number 1. But they got a stiff test here today from the Aggies.
The team reflects their head coach. He's a battler. He's a defensive guy. He doesn't get rattled. And so far, Oklahoma has kept it together.
There's his back. Caught. No first down. OU will win it. They got 15 yards back, but they needed 20. And the Sooners will stay undefeated and ranked number 1.
Stay back. The defense is off 10 yards. 3 safeties in the back. They're going to force the ball to be thrown short and then make the tackle. No mistakes. The ball's thrown inside. Porter gets it and come up and make the tackle, and now you can take a knee.
And the oranges fly for the Sooners. Oklahoma comes to one of the toughest venues in college football and survives a scare. Josh Heupel's father from Aberdeen, South Dakota, enjoys the performance that his son put on here today.